getting started. We're going to look at the assignments and a bit about the calendar in this particular video. So on those assignments, we have 4 this week. We have under discussions an introduction, and it leads us to look at Canvas. We have a quiz covering the syllabus, and we have 2 submissions. One, we're looking at stories, so we're looking at audience and purpose, and then we're looking at ChatGPT to get an idea of when we may want to use that and when we are absolutely not allowed to. So for our discussion, this is the information that's available in that discussion on the module. So we are going to look at how we can handle Canvas. We can add information, so we can show who we are, we can update our profile and our notifications, and we're going to introduce ourselves. I love getting to meet you, as it were, even though it's all online, and I also post an introduction and I respond to you, so look for that in the feedback. In the specifics, we are looking at uploading a video of yourself if you're more comfortable with that, or writing a paragraph responding to the questions. A lot of these times I'm looking for things that you find more or less comfortable. So if writing things by hand and taking a picture helps, there are assignments where you can do that. If writing and typing it and sharing it is better, or if doing a video is better, look at the things and figure out what you want to try, and make sure you reach out so we can find the best options for you to be comfortable with it. So the first thing we're going to do is check out Canvas. You don't have to update with your current photo if that's not comfortable for you, but explore what is on your profile and what's out there, and look at notifications so you can figure out how you want to use them, and there is a link to a guide that will help you. Then I want you to share about you. So what is your first thought about our kind of course? And every thought counts, because some of us are excited, some of us are nervous, some of us are anxious. There are all kinds of feelings that we can have, and we want to share and discuss. So we want to look for something we're excited about, one thing that you can do to succeed in class, not just our class necessarily, but any class, and maybe an idea for how I can support you. I love hearing things that you find valuable. You don't have to have an answer to every single question, but if you do, it helps me find new supports for you. And don't forget to respond to 2 classmates. That's a key part of all of our discussions. Next, we have the quiz. We're going to explore the syllabus. There is a copy under Files. You can also access it by that Simple Syllabus button when you are in our course shell. That's going to give you access to a copy, which you can download. It's nice to have your own copy. Keep it beside you and review it for the quiz. Next, we have 2 submitted assignments. So the first one is going to be a short paper about when I say paper, I mean like a page that has at the top the MLA template. So you have your name and the course and all that on the upper left. And then you write a paragraph or 2 about it. So nothing that goes to multiple pages necessarily, unless you want to go onto the second page, but just a little blurb about what you are seeing or experiencing in one of these ideas. So I actually forgot to update this. It looks like it should be, it's not a discussion, and I left some notes in there about the discussion that it used to be. So here is what we're looking at. There is a most likely apocryphal story of Ernest Hemingway saying that he was challenged to write the shortest possible story, and he said, "For sale, baby shoes never worn." Then we have 2 videos to look at. One is about audience and one is about purpose. And I want you to review that Unit 1 essay so you get an idea of where we're aiming. So in light of that, in light of looking at the audience and purpose, who could Hemingway have seen as his audience for his little short story? And who is your audience for this class? It gives us a chance to look at someone else and look at our own selves. And the same thing here for purpose. What is the purpose behind a short story? Why might someone write something like that or share something like that? And what does purpose mean when you think about what you are going to write for class? Which leads us to, what's the purpose of your Unit 1 essay, and what type of genre is it? So we are looking at our Unit 1 essay as a personal narrative. So explore that idea and see what you think. Also, as we go forward, you'll see that we are going to read 3 personal narratives, actually 4 total, as we look at people and how they are contemplating their lives. Sometimes we share our lives in sort of a fictional story or a memoir type story, sometimes as more of an academic essay. There are lots of different ways that we process what's happening around us, and we share a little snippet of our existence. And that's what we are heading into. that's why we're looking at audience and purpose, so we can best gauge what kind of examples we want to share about our lives. Then we have a submittal as well about ChatGPT, and there are 7 questions here for exploring it. So we're going to look at some do's and don'ts. There's also an optional reading of an article I found online that's very recent for an Alabama law firm that used ChatGPT and got caught with fake citations and some consequences there. I hesitate to think of what is happening to that poor person's career. So don't do it. Then we want to look at the following questions. What is it? What are some ethical uses? Some great things we can do? What should we not use it for? What do we need to do to avoid plagiarism? Why could a block quotation be a little bit tricky sometimes? And if we're using it, how do we make it really work? All of these are essentially, I don't expect a paragraph per each. A paragraph that includes these would be a really good size paragraph. You could even do something like 5 and 6 together as a question. Again, think about those short answer responses and what those can look like. Next, for our calendar, some notes to get you going. Our discussion posts are either for the Monday through Thursday section, so they're due on Tuesday for our initial discussion, and then the peer responses by Thursday, or they're due on Thursday with peer responses by Sunday and Saturday and Sunday. Part of the reason I give you a specific date, but then I'm open to how you tackle it, is that it's like cluster scheduling. If we schedule 3 clients for Tuesday at 10 a.m. Someone is going to get there early, someone's going to get there right at 10 a.m., and someone's going to get there at 10:15, 10:30. So because of that, we give you a specific date and we say aim for that date, and some of you are going to be above, below, and right on the dot, and all of those are working for us. Then we want to aim for our quizzes to be completed on either the Wednesday or the Saturday that they're due by. And remember that tip over here about having the material with you. We're not doing quizzes in this test like closed book, proctored exams. I want you to be reading stuff and looking for the concepts I'm asking you to check out. So when you look at this syllabus, I don't expect you to memorize it. I expect you to be like, okay, I looked it over. Now I'm going to look at the quiz and what kind of questions are there for this? What kind of things did she comment on? Should I go search them out and read more in depth about them? Yes, you should. So keep those stories and links beside you at all times. Finally, our quote from this particular week is by Maya Angelou. Nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. Anytime you have questions come up, reach out and ask, interact, ask questions, and explore.